If you're over 60 and feeling weaker by the day, if your arms, legs, and back don't feel as strong as they used to, then this video could be life-changing for you. We're about to reveal a food that contains even more high-quality protein than eggs, and it may help reverse the muscle loss you've been experiencing faster than you ever imagined. The best part? It's natural, easy to find, and backed by science. No expensive supplements or powders, just a simple, powerful shift in your daily routine. If you've been searching for a way to regain your strength and independence, stay with me. This might be the most important health information you hear today. In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the biggest secrets in muscle preservation for seniors, a protein-rich food that actually outperforms eggs. You see, as we age, muscle loss, or sarcopenia, becomes an invisible thief. It creeps in slowly, making daily tasks harder, weakening our balance, and increasing our risk of falls and injuries. But what most people don't realize is that you can fight back and even reverse some of that loss if you give your body the right nutrients at the right time. And here's where it gets exciting. While most people rely on eggs as their go-to protein source, recent studies have shown there's another food with even higher protein bioavailability, meaning your body can absorb and use it more effectively. In this video, I'll walk you through exactly what that food is, how much of it you should eat, when to eat it, and how to combine it with other habits to rebuild your strength and confidence. Starting today. Here's what you'll learn in the next 25 minutes. First, why protein is absolutely essential after age 60, not just for your muscles, but for your energy, metabolism, and immune system. Then, we'll uncover the exact food that beats eggs in both quality and effectiveness. You'll get practical instructions on how to use it every day, including a simple recipe that takes just minutes. I'll also cover important safety warnings, especially if you have kidney issues, diabetes, or take medications. Later in the video, I'll share a real-life story of one of my patients who used this food to go from struggling to stand from a chair to walking confidently in just a few weeks. And finally, I'll give you free access to a downloadable guide with everything you need to start using this today. If you're serious about staying active, independent, and pain-free in your 60s and beyond, grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's begin. Why protein matters after 60. After the age of 60, something subtle but serious begins to happen inside your body. You start losing muscle, not because you're inactive, but because your body becomes less efficient at repairing and rebuilding it. This condition, known as sarcopenia, affects up to 1 in 3 older adults. And if you're not actively doing something about it, it quietly weakens your strength, your balance, and your independence. What most people don't realize is that your daily protein needs actually increase as you age, not decrease. In your 20s and 30s, your body can make do with less because it's primed for growth. But once you cross 60, your muscles become resistant to protein's effects, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. This means that even if you're eating the same amount of protein you did in your younger years, your body is absorbing and using less of it. That's why the typical 2 eggs for breakfast might no longer cut it. To truly support muscle maintenance, seniors often need at least 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, sometimes more if they're recovering from illness, surgery, or already showing signs of muscle loss. For someone weighing 70 kilograms, that's about 84 grams of high-quality protein every single day. But there's another layer to this story. It's not just about how much protein you eat, but also the type of protein. Your body needs proteins rich in essential amino acids, especially one called leucine, which acts as the trigger for muscle growth. Foods that are low in leucine, even if they have protein, won't stimulate muscle synthesis effectively in seniors. This is why choosing the right protein source is crucial. You need something that is not only rich in total protein, but also high in leucine and highly bioavailable, meaning your body can absorb and use it without wasting any. And that's exactly what we're revealing in the next section, a natural food that beats eggs on all these fronts, protein quality, leucine content, and muscle-stimulating power. So, if you're over 60 and you're serious about staying strong, steady on your feet, and independent in your daily life, don't skip this next part. It's the foundation for everything that follows. So, what is this mystery food that outshines eggs in both protein quality and effectiveness for fighting muscle loss? It's spirulina, a blue-green algae that's often overlooked but packs one of the most concentrated sources of protein on the planet. Gram for gram, spirulina contains more protein than eggs. And here's the kicker. Its protein is up to 85 to 90% bioavailable, meaning your body absorbs and uses nearly all of it, far more efficiently than most animal proteins. Let's look at the numbers for a moment. A boiled egg gives you around 6 grams of protein with a biological value of about 94, which is high. But just 10 grams of spirulina powder, less than a tablespoon, provides about 6.5 grams of protein. And because of its exceptional digestibility and complete amino acid profile, spirulina's protein has a net protein utilization score that rivals, and in some studies, exceeds eggs. But spirulina's secret weapon isn't just its total protein content. It's also packed with leucine, the amino acid we mentioned earlier that acts as the ignition switch for muscle protein synthesis. In fact, spirulina provides roughly 3 to 4 times more leucine per gram than most plant-based proteins, and more than many animal-based ones. That's critical for seniors, whose muscles need a higher leucine threshold to trigger growth and repair. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't spirulina just a supplement? Actually, no. It's a food classified by the World Health Organization as one of the most nutrient-dense foods on Earth. And what's even more exciting is that spirulina also contains iron, B12, magnesium, and antioxidants, nutrients that support overall energy, reduce inflammation, and improve recovery, especially in older adults who are more prone to fatigue and nutrient deficiencies. Studies published in journals like Nutrients and Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience have shown that regular intake of spirulina can lead to improved muscle strength, endurance, and reduced oxidative stress, particularly in older individuals who are losing muscle due to age or inactivity. So when we say this food beats eggs, we're not just throwing around a catchy title. The science backs it. Spirulina provides more usable protein, more leucine, and more supporting nutrients, making it a true powerhouse for reversing sarcopenia. But the real question now is, how do you actually use it in real life? How much should you take? What does it taste like? And how can you make it part of a daily habit without it feeling like a chore? That's exactly what we'll cover in the next section. Now that you know spirulina is a powerful muscle-building food that beats eggs in protein quality, absorption, and amino acid strength, let's talk about how to actually use it. Because let's be honest, spirulina doesn't exactly taste like chocolate. It has a strong, earthy, almost seaweed-like flavor. That's why it's crucial to combine it with the right ingredients that not only mask the taste, but actually enhance its benefits. First, let's talk dosage. For muscle support in adults over 60, the ideal amount of spirulina is about 1 to 2 teaspoons per day, which equals roughly 5 to 10 grams. This gives you between 6 and 12 grams of high-quality protein in just a tiny serving. For most people, starting with 1 teaspoon per day is perfect, and you can increase gradually as your body adapts. One of the easiest and most effective ways to include spirulina in your diet is by blending it into a smoothie. Here's a simple and delicious muscle-boosting recipe specifically designed for seniors. Start with 1 teaspoon of spirulina powder. This is your high-quality protein base. Add 1 ripe banana to provide natural sweetness and a good dose of potassium, which also supports muscle function. Next, mix in half a cup of Greek yogurt for an extra protein boost and a creamy texture that balances the spirulina's earthy flavor. Pour in half a cup of unsweetened almond milk to keep it light and easy to digest. Then add 1 tablespoon of peanut butter or almond butter, which gives you healthy fats and helps with sustained energy. For an extra nutritional kick, you can throw in a small handful of fresh spinach or a pinch of cinnamon, both of which support inflammation control and taste great in the mix. Blend everything together until smooth and serve it chilled. It's quick, easy, and packed with the nutrients your muscles need to stay strong. This smoothie not only hides the taste of spirulina beautifully, but it also gives you a complete, balanced, muscle-building meal in one glass. Perfect for breakfast or a mid-morning energy boost. If smoothies aren't your thing, you can also stir spirulina into oatmeal, sprinkle it on top of scrambled eggs, or mix it into hummus or mashed avocado. Just be sure not to heat it too much. Spirulina is sensitive to high temperatures, and cooking it can degrade some of its active nutrients. Timing matters too. The best time to take spirulina is within 30 to 60 minutes after light resistance exercise, like a walk, stretching, or resistance band workout. Why? Because your muscles are more sensitive to protein absorption right after movement, especially as you age. If you're not active, don't worry, you'll still benefit from taking it in the morning when your metabolism is waking up and your body needs fuel. One last tip: consistency is key. Don't expect major changes from 1 or 2 doses. Spirulina works best when used daily as part of a broader anti-sarcopenia plan that includes movement, hydration, and good sleep. And in the next section, we'll talk about something very important: who should be cautious with spirulina, what side effects to watch for, and how to use it safely if you're taking medications or dealing with chronic conditions. As powerful as spirulina is, it's important to understand that no food is one size fits all, especially when you're over 60 and maybe managing health conditions or taking medications. So, before you start using spirulina daily, here are a few safety tips and potential side effects to keep in mind. First, spirulina is generally considered safe for most people when taken in recommended amounts, but because it's a type of blue-green algae, quality matters a lot. Low-grade or contaminated spirulina can contain heavy metals, toxins, or harmful bacteria, especially if sourced from unregulated waters. That's why you should only buy spirulina from reputable brands that are third-party tested and clearly labeled as free from contaminants like microcystins and lead. Next, let's talk about medical conditions. If you have kidney disease, spirulina may not be the right choice for you. While it's rich in protein, it also contains moderate levels of phosphorus, which can build up in the blood when your kidneys are compromised. For patients on dialysis or with stage 3 or higher chronic kidney disease, spirulina should be avoided or used only under medical supervision. People with autoimmune diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, or multiple sclerosis should also approach spirulina with caution. That's because spirulina can stimulate the immune system, which might worsen autoimmune activity in some individuals. If you fall into this category, it's best to speak with your doctor before adding it to your routine. Another potential concern is for those who are taking blood thinners like warfarin or aspirin. Spirulina contains vitamin K, which helps blood clot. While the amount isn't massive, it could interfere with your medication's effectiveness if consumed regularly. Again, your doctor can help determine whether it's safe for you to include. Common side effects, especially when starting spirulina for the first time, may include mild bloating, nausea, or changes in bowel movements. These symptoms usually pass within a few days as your body adjusts. To reduce the risk, start with a small dose, just half a teaspoon, and increase gradually over the course of a week. Lastly, avoid taking spirulina right before bedtime. Although it's not a stimulant, its nutrient density may slightly increase alertness in sensitive individuals. The best time to consume it is in the morning or after light exercise, when your body is most receptive to its nutrients. Bottom line, spirulina is incredibly powerful, but like any superfood, it must be used wisely. If you have kidney issues, autoimmune conditions, or take blood-thinning medications, consult your healthcare provider before starting. For everyone else, spirulina can be a safe, effective addition to your daily routine, especially when introduced slowly and in the right form. In the next section, we'll go even deeper by showing you the best foods to combine with spirulina to amplify its muscle-building effects and help you get even faster results. While spirulina on its own is a protein powerhouse, pairing it with the right foods can amplify its effects, helping you build and maintain muscle faster, especially after 60. Think of it like a team. Spirulina lays the foundation, but the right partners make the structure stronger, more stable, and longer lasting. Let's start with vitamin C-rich fruits like oranges, kiwis, or strawberries. Spirulina contains iron, which is essential for energy and oxygen delivery to your muscles. But the type of iron in spirulina is non-heme, which isn't absorbed as efficiently on its own. That's where vitamin C comes in. It enhances iron absorption significantly, so adding a few orange slices to your spirulina smoothie or following it with a kiwi can make a real difference in how well your body uses that iron to fuel your muscle recovery. Next, let's talk about omega-3 fatty acids, especially from sources like flax seeds, chia seeds, or wild-caught salmon. These healthy fats reduce inflammation in the muscles and joints, making it easier for your body to repair tissue after movement. A great combo would be adding a tablespoon of ground flax seeds to your spirulina smoothie, or having grilled salmon with a side of steamed greens and a light spirulina dressing. This not only supports muscle growth, but also promotes joint health and brain function, key for seniors aiming to stay sharp and mobile. Another excellent pairing is complex carbohydrates, such as sweet potatoes, quinoa, or oats. While spirulina provides protein and nutrients, your body also needs healthy carbs to shuttle those amino acids into your muscle cells. Think of carbs as the delivery truck for your protein. A post-walk breakfast of steel-cut oats with spirulina, cinnamon, and almond butter not only gives you sustained energy, but also optimizes muscle repair throughout the day. You should also consider combining spirulina with probiotic-rich foods like kefir or unsweetened yogurt. Why? Because your gut health affects how well you absorb nutrients, including protein. A healthy gut means better digestion, less bloating, and more efficient use of the spirulina you consume. A half cup of kefir with your spirulina smoothie, or mixing spirulina into plain Greek yogurt with a drizzle of honey is a simple yet powerful combination. Lastly, don't forget hydration and movement. Drinking enough water before and after taking spirulina helps it dissolve properly and move through your system smoothly. Pairing spirulina with light physical activity like a 10-minute walk, stretching, or chair exercises dramatically improves how your muscles respond to the protein intake. So, while spirulina is powerful on its own, combining it with omega-3s, vitamin C, complex carbs, probiotics, and movement makes it exponentially more effective. In the next section, I'll show you how one of my older patients who was losing strength rapidly used this exact combination strategy to rebuild muscle, improve energy, and regain control of her life within just a few short weeks. Let me share a real story that perfectly shows just how powerful these small daily shifts can be, especially when spirulina is combined with the right habits. A few months ago, I started working with a 68-year-old woman named Barbara. She wasn't frail, but she had begun to notice what many seniors quietly struggle with. Her energy was fading, her legs felt weak when climbing stairs, and simple things like lifting groceries or rising from a chair started feeling like a workout. Her biggest fear wasn't aging, it was losing her independence. Barbara had always eaten reasonably well. She'd have toast and tea in the morning, a light lunch, and maybe some chicken or soup at dinner. But when I reviewed her diet, it was clear she wasn't getting enough high-quality protein and certainly not enough leucine or anti-inflammatory nutrients to support her muscles. So we made a plan. I introduced her to spirulina, starting with just half a teaspoon in a smoothie. We added Greek yogurt, flax seeds, banana, and almond milk for taste and balance. I also had her include vitamin C-rich fruit at breakfast and salmon twice a week for omega-3s. And most importantly, we set a goal, 15 minutes of daily movement, something she hadn't consistently done in years. The first week was slow. She felt a bit unsure and skeptical, but by the end of week 2, something started shifting. She told me she didn't feel as winded walking around the grocery store. Her digestion improved. She wasn't bloated anymore. And by week 4, she sent me a voice message, nearly in tears. She had walked up the stairs at her daughter's house without using the handrail for the first time in months. After 6 weeks, Barbara's balance had improved, her grip strength was stronger, and she was down 5 pounds of excess weight, all without dieting. Just by giving her body the nutrients and movement it had been missing. Was spirulina the only reason for her transformation? No, but it was a powerful part of the foundation. It gave her body the raw materials it needed to repair, rebuild, and recover. It helped her feel stronger, clearer, and more in control, not just physically, but mentally too. Stories like Barbara's aren't rare. I've seen this pattern again and again, especially in people over 60 who commit to small but consistent nutritional upgrades. And in the next section, I'll share a bonus tip that takes everything we've talked about one step further. A simple trick that helps boost spirulina's absorption even more and makes your protein work smarter, not harder. Now that you know how spirulina can help reverse muscle loss and how to combine it with the right foods, let me give you one powerful bonus tip that most people and even many nutritionists completely overlook. It's about how your body absorbs protein, and it involves something as simple as deep breathing. Yes, deep breathing. Here's why it matters. Muscle growth doesn't just depend on the amount of protein you consume. It also depends on how well your body digests and distributes that protein. When you're stressed, rushed, or eating in a distracted state, your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight mode, shuts down digestion. Your stomach doesn't release enough acid, your intestines slow down, and your absorption of amino acids becomes inefficient. On the flip side, when you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, also known as the rest and digest mode, you optimize everything: digestion, absorption, and nutrient delivery to your muscles. And the fastest way to switch into that mode, 5 deep breaths before eating. That's it. Just sit down, put away distractions, and inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 4, and exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Do this 5 times before you eat your spirulina smoothie or protein-rich meal. It sounds simple, and it is, but this small habit can increase how much of that hard-earned nutrition your body actually uses. You can take it even further by chewing slowly, sipping water instead of gulping it, and sitting upright for at least 15 minutes after eating. All of these micro habits help your body extract maximum value from the nutrients you're giving it without needing to add another pill, powder, or supplement. This kind of mindful eating doesn't just help with spirulina, it helps with everything you eat, especially as your digestive efficiency naturally declines with age. So if you really want to get the most out of your nutrition, don't just focus on what you're eating, focus on how you're eating it. Your muscles will thank you for it. In the final section, I'll wrap everything up and show you how to get your hands on a free printable guide with all the steps, recipes, dosages, and combinations we covered today so you can start building strength and reversing sarcopenia right away. let's take a moment to recap everything we've covered in this video. Because if you're serious about fighting muscle loss after 60, these small steps can create a massive transformation in your daily life. We started by learning that sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss, isn't just a normal part of aging. It's a condition you can actively fight with the right strategy. You discovered that protein needs increase with age, and typical foods like eggs, while helpful, may no longer be enough to protect your strength, balance, and independence. That's where spirulina comes in. A natural superfood that delivers more bioavailable protein than eggs, packed with leucine, iron, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds that support not just muscle health, but your overall vitality. We walked through the science, the ideal daily dose, and even how to make it delicious with a senior-friendly smoothie recipe designed to improve energy, digestion, and strength. We also covered the important safety precautions, especially for those with kidney issues, autoimmune conditions, or blood thinners. And we showed you how to supercharge spirulina's effects by combining it with other foods like vitamin C-rich fruits, omega-3s, healthy carbs, and probiotics. You even heard Barbara's story, a real-life example of what's possible when small nutrition shifts are done consistently and correctly. And don't forget that bonus breathing technique. A simple 60-second routine before meals that can dramatically improve your nutrient absorption, digestion, and muscle recovery without any extra cost or effort. Now, to make things even easier for you, I've put everything from this video into a free downloadable PDF called the Spirulina Muscle Reset Guide. It includes the full daily routine, the smoothie recipe, food combinations, caution checklist, and a quick start muscle recovery plan for seniors. Just click the link in the description below to download your copy. You can print it, stick it on your fridge, or share it with someone you love who also wants to stay strong, mobile, and independent as they age. And if this video helped you even a little, please hit the like button, because every like tells YouTube to share this information with more seniors who need it. Also, comment below and tell me, have you ever tried spirulina before? Or what's your biggest challenge when it comes to staying strong after 60? I read every single comment and I reply to as many as I can. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another practical, science-backed video made specifically for your health. You're not powerless, you're not too old, and it's not too late. One small habit can rebuild strength, renew energy, and restore confidence, starting today.